Well, it was basically a speech by Warren Buffett describing how you can have knowledge when in a working place, but if you don't know how to communicate, you won't be a great leader. There'll be misunderstandings, etc. So I'll be talking about why we should communicate, what does communication consist of, what types of communications do we use most, why are communication skills important, and how to improve your skills. So why do we communicate? Because it's a big part of our life. We express emotions, how we feel. Do we disagree or agree with something? We provide information. For example, right here, I'm telling you guys about communication, why it's important. So what does communication consist of? There's three components: verbal, nonverbal, and paraverbal. Verbal is what you say, like words. Nonverbal are expression and actions. For example, like face expressions when you disagree with something, or you see something disgusting on the screen and you make that face, or hand gestures. It's like so. Paraverbal is a tone. If you say mad, happy, glad, sad, depressed, you can tell someone's tone. So that would be paraverbal. And you guys can see in this graph right here is it has what type of communication do we use the most. And you guys can see nonverbal is the one we use the most because we do use a lot of expressions when describing something or disagreeing with something. 55% nonverbal, verbal 7%, and paraverbal 38%. Why are communication skills important? Why? Because you establish a good relationship with your colleagues. They help you get jobs. Not only do you know your knowledge, but you could, during an interview, you can impress the person giving you the interview. And you're able to work well with others because there's communication, and communication is a big factor to having a good team. So communication in the workplace. You're able to have, with communication, you're able to have an organized and effective team, and it minimizes the problems of miscommunication. If you communicate well with your team, you're able to have you maximize your efficiency, and you get along with your colleagues or your coworkers, so there's no. So how can you improve your communication skills? Well, basically practice. They say practice makes perfect, so why not practice? And have confidence in what you say. If you stutter, for me, a couple times, but if you don't have confidence in what you say, people aren't going to believe you. People are going to be like, he's hesitating, so why should I believe him? And if you need help in in communicating, go ahead and ask for it. And you remain respectful with your opinions. So now that I've talked about why do we communicate, what does communication consist of, what types of communication do we use, why communicating skills are important, communicating in the workplace, and how to improve your skills. I'll go ahead and say, there's this quote I would like to say by Charlie Kaufman. Constantly talking isn't necessarily communicating. So basically, if you talk, that doesn't mean you're communicating. It can just be, jibber jabber doesn't mean you're communicating with one another. So communication is important in the workplace because, without it, there's no misunderstandings, there's great teamwork, you get along with your colleagues, and there's